Hello, Alchemist. Just in time. We were just tuning into you, thinking about a specific deliberate creator who has undergone pretty fantastical transformation, probably over the last few months, and is at a juncture where certain levels of clarity are being requested. Every single one of us can connect with clarity right now. We're often either scared to connect with clarity or we have a belief structure in place that says we cannot. I'm Danielle Lynn, by the way. I speak with very cool cats, such as yourself, who have fascinating friends, who are interested in living a more flow-based, enjoyable life your way, whether it's in business, relationships, or life. But I imagine if you found this video, you are ready to live a lifestyle of clarity. And I'm phrasing it this way, live a lifestyle of clarity, because it is a lifestyle choice. It's a choice to trust yourself, to trust the answers you receive, and most importantly, to trust that you have the power and the capacity in each and every moment to face whatever comes. But first, I'll share a few perspectives that come up when I am tuning in to you and me and all of us right now. In a certain way, if you're watching this video, you're being invited to open up that closet and see what's been hiding in there. You're being affirmed that you have the strength, the capacity, the will, the beingness, and the presence to face and integrate this. And you're also being acknowledged for how far you have come. Like, there has been so much you have transmuted. And it's not that you must keep doing stuff. It's that you've been, if you want to look at it a certain way, if you've been doing everything around this thing, now you're being invited to do the thing. The thing that maybe you've been doing everything else around, right? Thank you for taking the place of the thing for the demonstration. Yes. So I'm about to walk you through an exercise, if you'd like to test it out for yourself, that will assist you in not only developing a deep sense of trust within your body, because your body is a fantastic tool, but it will also give you an initial primer in navigating this world as the powerful creator you are. And I love that for you. Now, of course, this just represents one doorway, one breadcrumb. And if you watch it and you want to go deeper with this kind of material, I would invite you to check out my resources in the description link. There is likely going to be a few options and opportunities for you to either access tools, trainings, or experiences that may guide you into a more deeper, embodied practice around clarity, around self-trust, and remembering the various ways you can live life your way, the flow-based way. So now let's explore clarity a bit. You could say it takes a certain amount of personal courage and resilience to want to be connected with clarity. Because once you're connected with clarity, then what you're left with is the choices and the steps to make from here. So sometimes, consciously or unconsciously, we block ourselves so that we don't need to face the current step. And this happens to the best of us, so no need to take it to heart. You're here right now, after all, sorting this out for yourself, and I love that for you. So, step one, when you're ready for clarity, take a breath in. And then, above anything else in your life, say, I am more committed to knowing the truth as it is, the most clear, resonant, neutral truth, as I can see it from here, than I am to hear anything else. Now, this is not only something you say, this is a commitment that you actually hold within your space. If that's a challenging commitment to make, I'll invite you to consider the following. When we don't make that commitment, we often generate anxiety, because even if we're feeling tense, like, oh, I want to know, but I don't want to know, consider that as long as you keep yourself in that in-between space, you're also keeping yourself in the tension of not connecting to your truth. And in a temporary sense, it might seem to provide a little relief. We could call that a little bit of fog, right? A little bit of mental fog. However, even if you rip off the Band-Aid and get clarity, you'll find that each next moment comes with relief, even if the answer isn't what you would prefer. You have the ability to shift yourself at any given moment from fog into clarity. Please understand that if you feel like, no, I can't, all you are facing is just a very strong inner will that is currently unwilling to shift from its current position. As long as you even understand that, you are still making a very powerful transmutation in the moment. Even if you don't shift your will out of unknowing, knowing that your will is the one responsible for holding you in unknowing will provide a current step of transmutation. So, well done on that. I love that for you. Very cool. So next, let's imagine that you went ahead and you're like, all right, I'm committed to clarity. I'm committed to knowing what is. So first off, I would invite you to thank yourself. Well done. That commitment to clarity is a big leap, but it's also one that's deeply empowering because it's the beginning of a crucial foundation between you and your self-trust, between you and your confidence. Much of clarity, much of any kind of discernment in this world is rooted in your foundation of self-trust. So choosing to make that choice for yourself is a level of commitment and invitation into deeper empowerment with your inner navigation in the rest of the world. That's the good soup right there. I love it. So once I'm in that place, I affirm that I care more about knowing the most resonant answer, whether it's yes, no, or more information needed. Now, with that understanding, what I do is I establish a baseline, and for me, I like to utilize my body for the baseline. Now, your body is like an instrument. It's a tool. If you take a moment and you close your eyes and you breathe in and breathe out, you can inwardly scan your body and simply notice how it feels. This is your current baseline state. Now, if you like, in the next moment, what you can do, you can breathe in. And as you're breathing in, imagine that the air is collecting a ball of energy at your heart center. As you breathe out, imagine the breath out is spinning that ball. Just notice it for now. Now, next time you breathe in, imagine that it's making that ball a little more shiny. You might even start noticing how it feels in your chest and heart space. You could look at this as your neutral set point. As you focus on this ball of energy in the middle of your chest area, your heart center, you might simply say, hello, I'm acknowledging that I am committed to the resonant truth as it is connected to the natural source self. And I use that wording because it is connected and interconnected with all of creation. You could say it's almost a mathematical base point from a certain level. And so from that place, go ahead and close your eyes again, feel how that feels. Now, if you like, go ahead and invite yourself to breathe in and say, heart, show me what a yes feels like. Picture a yes, just even the word yes. Now, for me, it feels like an expansion in my heart, like my shoulders want to go back, like my spine goes just a little straighter. I feel very uplifted. All right, breathe out, feel yourself back at base point. Now you can invite yourself, show me what a no feels like. So breathe in, feel the no. For me, it feels like my shoulders want to come inward, almost like I have a desire to shield this space. It's a little bit more of a constriction. All right. So now that you have your yes and your no, come back to the middle point. So now what you can do is bring forward a question that you have curiosity about. For this first step in the exercise, I would invite you to choose a question that you don't have an enormous amount of tension around. Choose something that you're curious about, but you feel fairly light about, right? Low stakes question. So once again, you can bring that question to your mind's eye. Feel your heart, feel your neutral center, and say, I affirm I am more interested in clarity than anything else as is connected to my source self. So you bring the question forward and you say, can you show me, is it a resonant yes, resonant no, or more information needed around the topic of, and then ask the question. And so then you can feel what the answer is. Now let's say you don't feel anything. One of two things may be happening. You may be inviting yourself for more information, or the question you are asking may not be the most clear question. Please understand, clear answers are usually started and instigated from clear questions. And if you ask a question that it in self is rooted in something that's not quite true, something like, how bad of a person am I, as an example, right? And if you ask that question, you're presupposing you're a bad person. So the true source self of you might be like, well, I don't even have an answer for that question because the question itself isn't based in reality. It's based in a perception that is assuming something and therefore doesn't have an answer for it. So then the invitation that you have is, if the question you ask, you're not getting the answer, you can then ask yourself, shall I adjust the question? And usually that will give you a yes or no. So then when you get that yes or no, you can say, all right, well, let me imagine what is a more neutral way that I can ask this question. And what I find this process does is it not only brings you more clarity, it assists you in thinking more clearly, because then the source of your questions become more rooted in base neutrality, we could say. You're based. So let's say you ask some of these questions of yourself and you still feel a little uncertain about the answers. That's all right. What I would invite you to do is I would invite you to start by deliberately practicing with this, if you're interested in developing this skill set, because it is a skill set, both inherent to you, but much like a muscle, the more you access it, the more you will develop it and understand the nuance of it. Right? And then the more you develop it and understand the nuance of it, the more you will see the intricacies of what you can ask. And then the level of information you can receive from within will get more and more clear. But I would really invite you to apply this approach from a place of curiosity, not because you're trying to get all the answers, but rather in a way where in these most key moments, you can just adjust yourself as you navigate in this world. There have been times that I've utilized this process where I was so overly focused on making the right choice that it was like, imagine if you had a compass and you were like constantly looking at the compass, trying to figure out the direction. Oh, is this the right way? Is this the yes or no? Let's take a look. But then I wasn't actually even engaging on the adventure around me. And if you find yourself doing that, sometimes it's an invitation to temporarily just set down the compass, engage with life a bit, and then just pick it up, take a look, then set it back down. Realize that whether or not you navigate life this way, you will inevitably find yourself connecting with the steps you need to connect with. I just find that the more you naturally, easefully incorporate this process of yes and no, not from a place of obsession, not from a place of avoidance, but from a place of natural integration, then you start to have a much more, from my perspective, fun and coherent time with reality. It really can be quite a magical adventure as you're walking reality this way, as you're giving yourself permission to not make permanent things you don't prefer, to allow yourself to be playful with what can be in reality. When things don't turn out the way you expect, it can be easy to assume that you're doing something wrong. Oh, what did I do wrong in reality creation? This isn't the way that I experience things work when it comes to operating in this reality. When you assume something went wrong, you're doing it from a mental position. When you allow yourself to release the identification with expectations, you start connecting more accurately to the natural flow and rhythm and thriving of your life. From a very real perspective, I have seen when we operate in this way, no thing can actually go wrong. It can go in a way that you may not have originally anticipated. But the attachments of your mind are not the urges of your heart, your soul, and your spirit. And I've witnessed many a person go full force on a vision of their mind, only to arrive at an outcome and feel despondent once they realize that the thing that they thought would bring them joy actually didn't bring them any closer to satisfaction, peace, love, bliss, fulfillment, however you'd like to see it. Because they were putting the idealized manifestation, the idealized vision, ahead of truly understanding and connecting to what matters to them. Because most of the things that people deeply desire, a sense of well-being, security, a sense of accomplishment, can be envisioned through outer goals. And certainly, I love creating things outside of myself. It's very fun. But the pivot point that I'm inviting you to right here is, in this moment, if you choose, to no longer mistake those things for your true self, to no longer mistake those things for the source of your power, of your well-being, of your joy. You can have it all right now because you already are it all. And while it might involve a certain leap of consciousness to reap the rewards and actually live that statement beyond a conceptual level, I imagine that if you've found yourself at the place where you're watching a video like this, and even to this level, you are not only well on your way, but you are standing right there at the precipice of embodying this and experiencing this in real time in a new way.